cock your pistols.
Whoa, come back. We're getting into Tippy-Tap territory. Tippy-Tap 56.
So
Great.
not only is it a Tippy-Tap, it's a, drum roll please, Cop in a Feel episode. That's right, Cop in a Feel. We get to know
We gotta get
our
some of the-
guests deep. To get to know the soul of our guests. What makes them tick
We really got to
through
get
their
like
favorite TV cop.
a theme song, like the Waka Chicka Waka's going on in there. Just like we hear in a lot of the cop shows. Didn't we hear it in this cop show?
Yes, we have a very 70s s, even though it's an 80s show, a very 70s s soundtrack.
And obviously, there's so many details to cover here, Murray.
Right.
Too many.
And I'm too lazy to cover them. That's why we're going to have our guests cover them. People, you think you know Phil DeGlass. You don't know shit about Phil DeGlass until you've listened to this episode of Matt Houston. Phil, how the hell are you?
I'm doing wonderful because not only do I get to be on your show, I get to be on your show during your 5-year anniversary celebration.
That's true.
That's right.
Yes.
We are doing
Yeah.
it.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. 'Cause I am so upset with it, disappointed and upset with our listeners because we got a decent response. First of all, talking about bearing your heart and soul. I bared my heart and soul on our Road Warrior episode.
Yeah, that was great.
I showed some vulnerability. Usually,
cried.
you guys like think of me as a god. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
Tim, are you human? Yes, I am. And let me tell you, and fucking Ninja 2 is doing better than fucking Road Warrior. Some throwaway fucking Scott Adkins movie.
It's the Scott Adkins.
Fuck you guys. Really?
Bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
it
bullshit.
is. But what isn't bullshit? Matt Houston.
Matt
Or
Houston
maybe he
is
is. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, let me just back up real quick because Road Warrior, it was a great episode. It was really good. I really loved it. And
fantastic.
Ad Max was great, and I love Road Warrior because Road Warrior is one of my favorite films of all time.
Great
and
movie.
just yesterday,
Mhm.
I had the biggest tweet of my entire Flixology career.
I'm happy.
2 million impressions.
Holy shit.
Yeah, detail expands almost 14,000.
Wow.
459 profile visits, 23,000 engagements.
Wow.
And you know
I've
what?
never
it was?
had that.
A picture of
Of who?
a turtle.
Who was it? No,
Jim Brown?
it was close. Very close, by the way. Name a villain in a movie you shouldn't like, but you do. Picture of guess who? Lord Humongous.
Oh.
Lord Humongous.
I'm gonna take partial credit for that.
That's why. You should. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not saying it just to talk about my great tweet.
Yeah, because the best I've ever done, I got Seth Rogen to give me a like. That's the greatest I've ever
That was
done.
Commando. Yeah, it was the
Yes.
Lord, right? Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's
Thank you
right.
for remembering that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
did
then
listen
only
to
got
that
like
episode.
they only got 2,000 or 3,000 likes or something.
That's so fun.
And
I forgot that our
yeah.
peak Twitter exposure was Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
A-
it blew up after we got the Seth Rogen seal of approval.
yeah, a person that we mock quite often.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with any celebrity. It's all about Lord Humongous with his, speaker saying, "Just walk away." That's it.
It's so good.
And
And,
I
you know
wanna-
what? And why do you think I thought of that? Because I just
Exactly.
listened to Road Warrior on Golan-Globus Theater, and
And
so
I-
I owe it to you. Thank you, guys.
And I want to thank you because Phil was kind enough to say, "Hey, if you like this tweet, you should check out this episode."
Fuck. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah,
Damn.
I tried to give a little, I tried to connect it, and you
Get
probably
back.
got a few hits. I was trying to check the numbers, but I didn't have a chance to. So
Pay it
anyway,
forward.
but also one other thing. Normally I do a cocktail.
Oh,
or
yes.
to pair with the show, or the movie that we're going to be doing, like I
Right.
did for Maniac Killer and Burial Ground. Right. I have a very special 5-year anniversary Golan-Globus Theater cocktail, and it'll be on the internet soon.
Nice.
Yeah. So
You're just gonna tease us. You're not.
That's
gonna
going to be the second biggest
no.
tweet.
I'll tell you. I'll
Okay.
tell you what it is. So I built it. I actually did this yesterday, and I'll show you the video will be online sometime this week to help
Hell
promote
yeah.
Matt Houston and your show. All you need is a shot of rum. Okay, 151, like a high proof. Apparently, like Bacardi doesn't make 151 anymore, which I did. Like, so it was hard to find like a high proof rum. Yeah, shot of rum, light beer, pour it in, about 3/4. So you're doing like a Irish car bomb type thing.
Okay.
I hope it's
Yeah.
not Bud Light because
I did
we're
Coors
with,
Light.
we're with Kid Rock.
Coors
No, I'm
Light?
not doing.
White
No, I'm not.
Downing.
No, I'm not. No, I'm staying away from the Bud Light controversy. We're gonna
Okay.
go with Coors Light.
Coors
I
Light.
thought
yeah.
about last time. I think Griff, you were in Colorado. I was like, this sounds
Yeah.
good. We'll do that.
Okay.
So you light it on fire,
Oh.
a shot, and then you drop it in the beer, and
Oh,
then you
geez.
garnish it with a grilled hot dog, grilled Frank.
Oh.
Perfect grill marks.
You stick it right in there, and when I did it, I didn't expect this to happen, but the hot dog went right in the shot glass and it stood straight up.
Phil, God bless you.
That's
You're
a
doing
stiff
God's
drink.
work here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the Golan-Globus Theater 5-year anniversary cocktail. So
I can't wait to
enjoy.
see. I can't wait to see the video of
Hot
you
dog.
assembling this.
And the hot dog tastes delicious. I'd
what-
eat
Watch.
that.
So when you guys are hearing in like a year or two, whenever the coolest bar is having the what's it called again? Did you name it? Is it just the Golan-Globus?
You guys can name it. It's for the 5-year anniversary, so it's a Golan-Globus
Oh.
Theater special
Fifth
edition
anniversary.
cocktail.
When
Yeah.
all the cool hipster bars are doing this drink.
Exactly.
Remember, Phil
if you're
came
on
up with it.
TikTok, I already know. Like, just the conception of this has already exploded. I know it's going to be a TikTok sensation. They're all about this kind of shit.
I can see people like setting themselves on fire trying to do this. like
Yeah.
a TikTok challenge type situation.
Yeah.
Right.
When I had it, I filled it up a little too high. If you watch carefully, like it actually goes on the side of the glass. It starts when I lift it up. So yeah, don't try this at home, kids. That's incredible. Used to tell us.
Well, I mean, it's just
All
like
right.
we see in Mad Houston. Like, sometimes you just got to do things in a lower vision quality so you don't notice. Like fire hydrants that get knocked off.
Oh,
you know?
God.
Okay, I'm glad you know what we're talking
All
about.
right, I know. Yeah, I'm like, how does some sort of these are the best guys they can find. Anyway, I guess we need to get to Matt Houston here.
Matt fucking Houston. I explained to
Beautiful,
Phil
man.
before we started recording that I am aware of Matt Houston. I never have seen an episode in my life until this episode.
You saw the
which I love.
commercials.
I love the fact that all our Cop in the Field guys are coming up with unique shows.
Yeah.
we don't get the same shit over and over.
We don't have a lot of
I like that.
crossovers. And even if you do have a crossover, that's awesome. But it's cool to get all these unique cop shows. Never heard of this Matt Houston character.
So, explain to us, Phil, Matt Houston.
Yeah, Matt Houston. So he's a sort of an heir to an oil fortune from Texas. Okay, he's an all-star college quarterback. Went to Rice University, and he one day after college he decided that he wanted to be his own man. Didn't want to live in the shadow of his father and the Houston Industries, and he decides to sell his ranch, leave, and go to beautiful Los Angeles to become a private investigator. It's like a hobby. He doesn't even really need the money for that because he still has all this other stuff. He has a wonderful all these enterprises that's run by his business manager, which is like the comic relief. But anyway, that's Matt Houston, and he has a sneaky sort of a resemblance to another very popular private detective of the time. So we all know Magnum PI because Jack Battelier, the weapons master, of course, has done. He did a couple episodes. I actually listened to that to try to prepare for this. But yeah,
competition.
Yeah.
Don't.
it's
not a competition.
It's not. No. I just wanted.
We
to
love
make
all
sure
our guests equally.
I never watched. Don't tell anyone, but I never watched an episode of Magnum PI ever.
I don't think I did until we did the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good to see the synergy that happens on that show, though, with Magnum and his crew.
It's great. I mean, it was the top of the line, popular PI show of the time, and then of course Dallas, which was started in 1978, was very popular. So I think it was one of those. What if we took Magnum PI, mixed them with Texas, and put them in LA and see what happens type show. So that's Matt Houston.
80s was the time that we were supposed to like worship rich people. Like,
that's why I love rich people today. I was brainwashed. I love them. Do you hear me, rich people? See, I'm one of the ones that like you.
Oh, I see what he's doing. This is good. Murray, I'm covering the mic so no one can hear me. What he's doing is get on Elon's good side, so his next tweet's gonna get 4 million.
That's it.
That's fucking
yeah, that's what I need to
genius.
start doing. It's sucking up to Elon.
Dude,
I
that's
mean,
all you got to do.
He has more money in his couch cushions than I have in my freaking bank account.
Yeah.
Well, his couch cushion is actually just the linen fabric or whatever with a person stuffed in it. He's sitting on people.
That's right. Ugh.
So I mean, I
yes.
think we can all agree. Look, Matt Houston, great, but Magnum is on another level. Don't we agree that?
He just had Magnum had the budget and everything, though, right?
Well, he had the mustache.
And he had a very potent mustache.
Yeah,
and
it was powerful.
I mean, did Matt Houston even have a Texas accent?
Yes.
He did.
He's from Texas. Lee Horsley is the actor that plays Matt Houston. He is from Texas. He was an accomplished horse rider, rancher, hunter. He didn't have much of a career after after the show, but he showed up in 2 Quentin Tarantino westerns. So,
that's right.
Yeah, Tarantino kind of, I guess, took a shine to him either through this or. Have you guys seen the other Lee Horsley movie?
Are you talking Sword and the Sorcerer?
Sword and the Sorcerer. Have you
funny
guys done
you bring that? Funny you bring that up. I actually just found that at a secondhand store. I bought it I put it up on Twitter. I bought it a couple days ago.
Yeah. So he's famous for that. Yeah.
It's not high on my list. I mean, it's okay. Oh, I love on the back. It says possibly better than Conan the Barbarian and Excalibur. No, sorry. hate to break to you.
I like that though. Possibly.
Possibly.
It's up to you to decide.
Yes.
It might be. That's very. I like that.
But yeah, he didn't have much of a career, so yeah.
Well,
yeah. So,
So
but he
why-
did do this show.
Griff, do you think it's because you were almost offended by the mustache?
No, I came around to a little bit more the second viewing.
Okay.
I think when I do the notes, I'm always a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Just aggressive. I'm angsty. I'm trying to tear things down. I'm trying to get every detail juiced out of it. And it's like, you don't need to do that with these shows. There's plenty of juice to be found everywhere in this show. I mean, this guy's got like a suite on the top of a building that he's turned into his like mechanic headquarters.
It's part Charles Bronson's mechanic, part Rainbow Cafe.
Yeah, please, yes, the Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had that waterfall rock formation
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
So,
Can we talk about Matt Houston versus Magnum real quick?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's your show.
Yeah, so I think it's because you have us on here to learn, like, why did we choose this, right? So
Exactly.
let me ask you a question, Matt. Let's do a little comparison. I know you said it's not a comparison show, and just answer honestly. Magnum PI versus Matt Houston. Backstory. Who wins?
I hate rich people, so I'm going with Magnum.
I-
Magnum Vietnam vet. Carefree life.
Yeah, if I'm going with today's lens, I got to go with Magnum. I don't give a fuck about a rich person.
Well, yeah, okay, so we got one for Magnum here. How about hair? Like hair on his head.
That's a tough one. 'Cause
Yeah.
he did have an impressive mane.
It was nice.
I definitely like Matt's hair more.
Yeah, I'll give it to Matt because I don't want it to be a sweep on Magnum.
Okay.
I'll give it to Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and mustache, I think we've already covered that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so like,
I give him credit for at least rocking it, though.
Yeah.
You got to flaunt what you got, and he does.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was also bothered. I noticed that Lee Horsley, was almost wearing as much makeup as CJ.
CJ.
Like, I don't know who was in charge of the makeup.
is that
on
a
this
normal
show.
thing for the show?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
lot of
Yeah.
makeup.
It was
Yeah,
the 80s. There were a
was
lot
the
of
80s.
makeup. Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
while I was doing the notes, I was distracted by CJ, and I was like, "What is it?" And then we were watching it a minute ago, and Murray's like, "The makeup. It's incredible. Like, there's so much of it."
Right.
All
It's
right.
like bronzer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how about the build? Like the physical build.
Magnum. Magnum's got that
yeah.
mane of chest hair.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Body
Did
hair.
we-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we really get to see much of Matt?
We
Well,
see
in
him
the opening
in the
credits.
intro, yeah.
Yeah. Not necessarily. in
I
this
wasn't
episode.
impressed.
It seems like Matt's supposed to be more of a lighthearted type character because in the intro we also get to see him try to
Comedy.
bust down a door like 10 times in the opening credits. Like you have 10 bust down the doors where he fails. And then the last one, he starts to do it, and then he stops himself and opens the door, and he's like, oop.
And
I
it
love that.
It's basically like the shoulder shrug. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
awesome. Yeah,
I love
hilarious.
that.
Yeah,
And
he's more lighthearted. Yeah.
if I can give anything else to Matt here, Magnum's
Mhm.
out there chasing the puss everywhere. Matt Houston seems to just be like in a on-off thing with CJ.
Well, all the girls flock to Matt.
Oh, do they?
Because he
Yeah.
he
Oh, he has
exclusively
the-
hires women.
That's right. He
Yeah,
has.
yeah,
yeah.
That's a Me Too movement
Oh,
waiting to
exactly,
happen. Oh
yeah.
no, I'm sorry. I opened a can of worms.
Yeah, he has a harem of secretaries.
Yes.
Yeah, that just surround him, throwing papers at him.
And then-
Except for the one guy in charge. Of course, the guy in charge is George Weiner, the actor from Spaceballs. But anyway, but yeah, he's definitely has his. The demographics of his office is heavily skewed to young model type women. Yes.
I'll tell myself they're all single mothers trying to get away from abusive husbands.
That's
To make
that's
it
actually
okay.
that's an episode. You've seen more than one episode. That's
There
great.
we go.
See?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like I guess the last question is who's the better guest, Jack Atelier or Phil DeGlass?
Wow. You really? You sure you want to hear the answer?
Yeah, let's hear it. Come on.
I'm kidding. No. All our guests are like our children.
That's
We
right.
love them all equally. We don't want
Well-
to pit. I do love pitting people against each other.
Yes.
Because my fantasy is to run a fight ring. So I always want conflict. But no. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, we could have a crossover episode with you and
You never
Jack
know.
and then see.
You never know.
You never know.
All I
That's
know
the
is
beauty of
I'm gonna choose Jack because I think he just got the edge. He's got nicer shoes. his beard is way cooler. I like it.
well,
Yeah,
I
so-
have
yeah,
a short memory, so it goes to Phil.
Thanks.
The one question you didn't ask was who is the better car?
Oh,
okay.
Matt Houston's got a Rolls Royce.
No, it's not. It's an Excalibur Phaeton 4 kit car. They were built in Wisconsin.
Okay, wow.
Wisconsin representing the Midwest.
That's
Wow.
a GM engine. Yeah,
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I come from a GM town, so yeah.
yeah.
Or the most fuckable car, according to Jack
Jack
Badalaire, the
Badalaire.
most fuckable car
Yeah.
ever made, the Ferrari.
Yeah.
So
I don't like Ferrari, so I guess I'll give it to Matt on that one.
So you're more
wow.
you're more cultured. You don't like it like you want somebody to give you some Grey Poupon when you stop at a light.
Dude,
No
you're already in
oranges.
fuck. Oh yeah, that's right. That was that car, right?
Something like that. I don't know. I'm going Ferrari.
Go for her.
It's a little over the top. I understand where you're coming from, Griff.
Yeah.
It's a little like maybe I'm saying I have a small dick, so that's why I'm driving this car, but I'm still gonna go for it.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
you, Phil?
I,
What do you-
I mean the Ferraris. I mean, I just think that the car he's driving it just looks kind of cheap. Yeah, it's got like that wheel well, like that's up on the top. I'm not a car person at all, so my son is, my youngest is like wants to be a mechanic, so he's like, "Geez, that car is such a piece of shit." Like I made him watch an episode of Matt Houston.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not a car guy. I mean, I think it looks fine, but yeah, it's supposedly modeled at the Mercedes SSK, I believe. Again, not a car person, but
Well,
Neither are we, so it's okay.
if your son's interested, there is a Bronco down the street for us on sale, an 90 or an 80s Bronco, red and white.
he would love that.
I mean, all the old cars are probably way more fun to work on than these modern cars, where it's like everything is cramped together. So we could be your Bronco hookup.
Well,
Okay.
in your notes, Phil,
Sounds
you
great.
said he has a fleet of cars, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the pilot, and we can talk about Matt Houston another day. But if you go into like I could go down the rabbit hole of Matt Houston, but in the pilot episode, and I think when you did was it the Highwayman? They had a lot of cool stuff maybe in the first episode, and it sort of tailed off and
Yeah.
became garbage. Like in the original Matt Houston, there was like his license plate was Cowboy 1 through 9. So he
Oh,
had
Cowboy.
he had 9 cars. It wasn't just the Phaeton, which was the Cowboy 2, I think. In the first episode, he also drives, I think, Cowboy 3, which is a DeLorean.
God, of fucking course.
Of course.
It had the Falcon doors, and he
What
had
was it, a time
had a
machine?
hot mechanic, just like on Knight Rider.
Of
It
course.
had like
No.
named Slim. She was named Slim, and she would fix his cars for him and drive them to him in the garage outside the penthouse. So yeah, he had a fleet of cars. So he was rich. He was
Yeah,
rich.
he had a fleet of cars, and he also had a fleet of members-only jackets. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Did you have one? Did any of you have?
No, I never.
Griff, do you even know what they are?
I do,
Yeah.
but I really I can't identify them. I didn't realize when I watched it that was a members only. Murray was just going, me and my members only, and he rolled
Pulled
his
the
sleeves up.
of
Yeah.
course. Show a little forearm.
So when I see it, I'm just like, oh, it's an average looking coat.
It's this cheesy
It's got
jacket.
it's got like those like snap-on epaulets on the. That's kind of the marquee of it. Those little
that's kinda
snap-ons
weird.
on the shoulders. Yeah, and it has the label. If you look under the pocket, the chest pocket has members only underneath. You can see that label. Yeah, very popular in the early '80s. I guess it was. I had one.
You remember?
What color was it?
It was red. I think it was like burgundy. Like
Oh, okay.
Wow,
I was gonna say a bright red. Of course, you're going for the Ferrari.
Of course.
yeah.
He wants
I
to be
think my
stupid.
mom bought me a yellow one, like in the '88 when they were like giving them away, and I took it to school. I took it to school and put it in my locker and never wore it.
That
I hope mom's not listening.
I have done that.
She is
a lot
Okay,
with
I'll
stuff.
talk to her. She's proud of you.
I used to hate when coats would be too puffy on me. And
Oh.
so for a lot of the winter time when I was going through high school, I was like a block away from my high school, so I'd walk. I'd walk without a coat because I was like, I can't be seen in that coat. It's embarrassing. It's puffy. I don't know.
I had a starter's jacket, so I was cool.
Well, you had your Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
starter jacket.
back when they were winning,
That
and then people would clown on me because they would always lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But okay, we got Matt
All right.
Houston down. What are there any recurring characters that we need
we
to
got
know
the only ones you need to know for this episode is C.J. Parsons, who we've already discussed. It's played by Pamela Hensley, who was on Buck Rogers.
I remember her.
Do you remember her?
I watched Buck Rogers as a
I did
kid.
too. I watched the hell out of Buck.
She was like the horny princess who's
Yes.
always trying to fuck Buck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Space Princess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And was
She
that
had-
the one with Twinkie, the little
Yeah,
robot?
Twinkie,
Yeah,
yeah.
Twinkie. Yeah, Twinkie.
Yeah.
Twerky.
that's
Twerky
modern.
was the female one that went booty booty.
booty booty. Booty booty.
All right, what does CJ do again? What is her
DJ's
role?
like his lawyer. She's a Ivy League grad. They grew up together in Texas. She has the actress is not from Texas, and she loses her accent. Like
Oh.
by the third season, she doesn't sound like any Texas is in her at all. But yeah, she's like his.
There's Texas in her. It's named Matt Houston.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, every Saturday night. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, she's kind of his girl Friday type character. You know, the sort of play off each other, their witty repartee, but not the love interest thing. Never really pans out. And there's actual fans of the show that have discussed that she probably was a lesbian.
Oh.
It's funny you say that because I will admit I've never seen an episode, but I do write fan fiction about Matt Houston and CJ. It gets really hot too. It's erotic fan fiction.
What would you say is your favorite scene you've ever written?
I want to hear
Starring
this. Can you,
CJ.
Well, let's
can you
just
recite
say
it? You
how
have
big
it
is
near
the-
you?
this is
How-
a family show, first of all. But let me just say it involves Matt, CJ, and a man named Castanos.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Oh,
How big is
Somebody finds a soul, is all I'm saying.
How big's the
Alright.
fireplace?
Huge. It's an inferno.
It's an inferno. Like a
Yes.
whole wall is actually
Yes,
a fireplace.
It's like a castle with a giant.
Oh, does Matt have a suit on in the scene, or does it come off?
He's wearing like one of those country and western type suits with
Yeah.
a bolo tie and like the leather kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
on the-
Is Castano just in the corner, like lurking?
Yes. He's wearing a mental institute. Like he's wearing a straight jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not taking away
yeah,
from.
sorry. We've
is
done too
Phil's
much.
episode.
We've done too much together. Of course, I know exactly what your fanfic looked like.
Yes, of course. You know my sick freakiness.
Wait, I'm
All
writing
right.
this. I'm writing this down. What was that?
So,
Wait. Where's Castanis?
all right, we got
Corner.
CJ Parsons. I'll send it to you. We got CJ Parsons, who is our cop character that's
All
always
right,
like stay out of this, Houston.
Yeah. And his Vince Novelli is Lieutenant Vince Novelli, played by John Abrea. He's an Italian. He's an Italian, and obviously
Hothead, yeah.
he kind of covers. He's friends with Houston.
Wow, so they're friends. They're
yeah,
not
they're
like
friends.
adversaries.
No,
Okay.
no, which is weird because they get in a really heated argument. So there's him, and he's typical cop, and he has a mother named Mama Rosa Novelli. And that's his mom, and she owns the Italian restaurant that they always go to, and she is always feeding
please
them.
tell me it's called Vinny's because her son is named Vince.
It's called Novelli, so she'll refer to him as like.
I was hoping
she'll call him Vincenzo on some episode.
I was hoping a John DeHart tie-in somewhere here, but
Somewhere.
not to be seen.
Oh, I missed it.
Does her restaurant play like role like in Seinfeld? Do we see it all the time?
Yeah, you see the outside of it, and it says Novelli's, and she's always complaining that Vince needs to eat more.
Oh, that's an Italian mom for you.
Exactly.
I hated food when I was growing up, and I had to grow up around those people who are like, you're skin and bones, you're gonna eat food now. I get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the last.
Murray's staring at me like I just fucking committed suicide.
Someone tells you I hate food, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I hate breathing. It's just it
breathing.
gets on my nerves.
Well, I do hate sandwiches.
You hate
and
sandwiches.
We know how that
Yeah, you
goes.
piece of shit.
We know how that goes.
I mean, I actually sympathize with you on that one, Griff. With this, I believe I don't like deli meat. I think it's the slick ham and the wet bread is
thank
gross.
you.
I won't
Thank you.
defend deli meat, but I will. To my dying breath, I'll defend a sandwich.
Yeah.
As long as the sandwich is a burger. I mean, hot dog is technically a sandwich.
Hot dog is technically a sandwich.
And those are good.
No.
Those are
I
Yeah.
don't want to get into the weeds of that.
All right. Okay, so
All right, so
Bo,
we got Mama
last one is
Kelly.
Bo. Yeah, last one is Bo, who's the kind of one of his ranch hands. That this is actually his last episode. They wrote him off and his other ranch. Yeah, because it wasn't working.
I agree.
In fact,
I
I thought he should have just died.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, but anyway, we don't want to reveal the end.
And you know
then-
what?
yeah.
He played Grandpa in House of Thousand Corpses. I know that guy. Something.
He's got that look. He's smallish, like
He's got like a pig.
like Peter
nose.
Bark, kind of like Peter Bark. He's got a small build. He's got his pants tucked, his shirt tucked into his jeans.
All right, what
That's
is
not
this
good, eh?
supercomputer named Baby?
It's
You didn't
called
see it in
Baby?
the episode, but
Okay.
brought it up.
Yeah, so the baby kind of comes out of the wall, and the couch
Oh,
pushes
boy.
up to it, and it's an Apple III computer.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's and there's actually in the credits it says computers supplied by Apple Computing Company. So
Oh my
that
God, it was just some leftover Star Trek shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was a computer.
But it's like a brilliant. It's one of those AI. I can talk to it and type in something, and it knows everything. Like
Original
like the computer and Alien. Like Mother or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying, I mean, obviously everyone will hear this Wednesday, but Sly Stallone know how to make a computer look sexy.
Yeah.
Because those shots in Rocky 4, he makes computers fucking sexy. I work around computers. I work around servers. They're boring as shit.
Yeah.
But Stallone's with the little compartments with blips and bloops and shit. It's like, fuck, I want to work with a computer.
You know what Paulie's feeling.
I know what Paulie's feeling. He wants those blips and bloops.
No, there's
So you guys did the Rocky 4, the original, not the recent cut where they got rid of the robot.
Yeah.
no, fuck no. Without the
You
robot,
can't-
it's not worth watching.
There's
It's
no.
trash.
This is the weirdest oxymoron ever. Without the robot, there's no heart. Because robots don't have hearts.
Very true.
It's not the clothes, it's the hanger.
I'm
There's
serious.
one-
As soon as you leave, I'm turning off all my lights. I'm just thinking about that. I'm just thinking. about
Yeah,
that.
it's deep when you think about it. There's one last character did not make an appearance. I'm very intrigued by this last character because his name is Murray. What does Murray do on this show?
Murray
I guess he's really handsome and he's funny and he's always stealing Matt Houston's girlfriends. Is that what he's doing?
It's no, he's played by George Weiner, who is, if you remember Spaceballs, the guy with the glasses and the bald head. He was in. If you see him, you know him. But yeah, he's the nerdy. He's a kind of a nerdy business manager, but every so often he's got a little, he's got something. He's like, turns out he's a football fan. It turns out he's good at pool. Like he kind of surprises them every so often by being kind of cool. So yeah, he's not bad.
All right, so now we know everything you need to know to enjoy a Matt Houston episode. So shall we get into this episode? Is there a reason why you picked this particular episode, Phil?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I remember it was September '82 is when it debuted. So it must have been like the summer of '82. I was at the beach on vacation. So I was 8. And I remember my parents didn't really care about us going to bed and all that stuff. And I somehow reached into the adult late night TV, and it was Matt Houston. So I saw, when I was a kid, I saw it, and I remember being so impressed by this episode. And it was actually it was actually the episode before this, episode 14, whatever it is, 14. And that's why I'm doing this today, because I was so impressed. I thought it was so great. And I've revisited later in life, and it's a little bit different than that.
Yeah.
But the next episode is this one. So I had a little background, and I'm dedicated to this show. I bought the box set so I could bone up. I could bone up $22. So I could bone up on Matt Houston. But yeah, I picked this episode because, as your listeners know, Chuck Connors is in it. And we all know Chuck Connors was the star of Maniac Killer, which was the first appearance of Phil DeGlass.
Is that like Maniac Killer? Is that similar to Maniac Killer?
Yeah, it's like it's the remake of Maniac Killer.
The reboot.
But if you haven't listened to Maniac Killer, but I know that everyone probably has because it's so popular. Yes. Go back before you go into this episode. Go back, pause this one. Go back and listen to Maniac Killer, and you'll know everything you need to know. But Chuck Connors' character is the same character. It's just all by chance. Yeah.
You really should go look up some clips of Chuck Connors in Maniac Killer. He's so good. I liked him in that movie, and I love him in this episode.
Even though he's a former Celtic, he's okay in my book.
He's a Celtic?
He played for Celtics. Yeah.
Center. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. I guess
he's 6'7".
Holy shit, he's 6'7"?
Yeah, he played for the Celtics for 1 year, but he wanted to be a baseball player. He played in the minor leagues for the Dodgers. Too. Yeah. He's called Chuck because he was a first baseman and they threw the ball, chucked the ball or something.
Yeah.
So his name, his name isn't Charles.
I don't know. I just read that on Wikipedia. It's I gotta do some
it has
research.
to be true.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, so Chuck Connors. Yeah, so there's a connection.
He's the fucking rifleman. Come on.
He was the rifleman, yeah.
Piercing blue eyes.
Great actor. Great actor.
So, okay,
Great
so
actor.
that was the reason you were like, Chuck Connors, I have to talk about
Chuck Connors, man. Once I saw he was in an episode, that put it over the edge, so I wanted to do that.
He's great.
I love making those connections with the show, though. We've learned about so many great... We just came to the realization recently that we dogged on Red Brown the first episode we did with Red Brown.
We were young and naive.
And now we're living in Red America. We love Red Brown. It's crazy what happens to you when you do 4,000 hours of content.
Yeah.
He's in Uncommon Valor. I mean, he's one of the he's acts next to Fred Ward and Gene Hackman. Great.
He probably taught him a couple things.
Probably.
This is how you scream. They're doing with the Flash movie, they're doing a alternate universe thing where they're bringing Michael Keaton's Batman back and shit.
Oh.
They're they're doing different versions, and they have Ben Affleck's Batman, all this kind of shit.
That's cool.
Marvel. While he's still alive.
Oh my God.
Red Brown comes back as Captain America.
Oh.
And leads the Avengers to victory.
Finally, we get to see a man who can fill out a fucking
no
Captain
padded
America's,
fucking bullshit.
No padding.
It's just
get that plastic shield. It looks like he stole it from a salad bar. All right. We
All
got to
right.
get into Matt Houston.
Yeah.
Into it.
And we're
Yeah, we gotta do
launching into one of the greatest intros I've
I don't think we
seen.
mentioned this is an Aaron Spelling production.
Oh,
who
yeah,
made
we
a
have
lot of
not.
cheesy shit that we all watched when we were kids, like The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, and Charlie's
Right.
Angels.
And then for my age group, the Tori Spelling show.
yeah, Beverly Hills
Yeah.
90210.
No. I mean, she had her own reality TV show.
Was
That's
she involved in
jeez.
that's what I know her from.
Okay.
And I'm coming of age. I'm 13 or something. You know, I'm trying to figure out the girl situation and everything. And I'm looking at Tori Spelling, and I'm like, what's weird about her? Like, I was so
Yeah, she's
confused.
not
She's got like
attractive.
big bulging eyes or
It
something.
looks like her
and-
father.
Just like her father.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I watched
Golan.
it just to be like, what is happening? I was very perplexed by that. So that's how I know Spelling, the name.
Yeah, well, he did
So-
many shows. He was almost as prolific as Stephen J. Cannell, who we've done like Renegade and all those kind of shows.
Fucking genius.
Yeah,
But I'm
and Heather Locklear, who was on Melrose Place, was on Matt Houston.
And
But she was like 19.
Well, we also know her from a great episode of Chips where she.
No, T.J. Hooker.
Oh, excuse me?
Another
T.J.
Aaron
Hooker. She was
Spelling
on T.J.
show,
Hooker,
as
yeah.
well as Dynasty. She was on both of those shows at
Oh.
the same time.
All I know
Yeah.
is on TJ Hooker, she fucking danced her little booty
Yeah,
off.
she proved white girls can't.
All
right, so-
what Heather Locklear or Heather Thomas?
I'm a Heather Thomas guy. She
Yeah, me
she seemed-
too.
She seemed dirtier to me. Like Heather Locklear seemed boring in the sack. To be honest
agree.
with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, look, we'll do a Fall Guy episode for you, Chris. You can see the greatness of Heather Thomas, because there were the two Heathers in the '80s: Heather
Yeah,
Locklear, Heather Thomas. We're men. Me and Phil and men of the world. We like Heather Thomas.
This is true. Okay.
All right, so we get I love the intro. We got to bring these
Intro's
intros
good.
back.
It's so good.
It's just clips from the show.
We get like the from the passenger seat of the helicopter as he's starting it up, you know. 'cause they got- We're seeing some of those sweet cars he has. He's doing parkour. Like we even see him in this episode slide across the hood of a car. Ladies, of course. We talked about his fleet of secretaries. Again, that's probably
We
his
got those
situation.
door gags that you brought up earlier.
door
He's
gags were so
He's
good.
showing that he's not like, because we're going against the grain because we're used to like the tough guys just kicking a door in, but he like hits the door like,
Yeah.
oh, my arm.
Yeah.
You know?
Driving a 3-wheeler into a pool.
Yeah.
Fucking dope.
And then and then we cut, just stop the music for a second, and then CJ goes, better cock your pistols. And then we go right back into it.
So cool.
How-
But did you understand that the echo? If you remember the very beginning of the montage, the first thing you see is Matt Houston's cock. It's basically his pelvis coming at you. Watch it again. Watch it again.
I missed it, yeah.
Yeah,
But it was supposed to be like his belt buckle or some shit, and it like pans
Oh.
up. It starts at his dick, and it goes up
Amazing.
his tie to his face, and he's like, you know, he's just the cock of the walk. And so it starts out with that. They show his crotch, and at the end she goes, "Better cock your pistols." So you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting
Wow.
with Matt Houston.
Little innuendo there.
Yeah, a little.
Uh,
This is a smart man show.
This is the man who made Charlie's Angels. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
All right. So, all right, we're right in the middle of the action. The prison break happening. This guy's running from the cops.
Oh yeah, you got the whole affair going on. Sirens going off. You see
Dogs
the
barking.
searchlights, dogs barking. You got it all.
And then he runs up to like a limo or something's waiting for him. And he leaps in the back seat. And we don't see.
We just saw a hand reach in and grab him, pull him into the the limousine or whatever it was. And then the guy looks up. We see the convict running away. We see him look up, and he's horrified, mortified, even.
Right. Because what does he say? Like, I won't work
Yeah,
for you,
he's
but
like-
this one time I'll kill
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
He
He
immediately
says,
realized.
"Oh, it's you." He's like, "Oh, it's you. I'll take the money, all right. But I would have killed Houston for nothing."
Mm,
Oh,
Yeah, that was my impression of Don Stroud. That was pretty good.
I liked it. As far as I know, that was perfect.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna spoiler alert. is this supposed to be Castanos he's talking to? How did he get out of the mental institute?
That's a great question.
Because we learned that he has a
Yeah.
go-between named Felix, who we never see, even though he's listed in the IMDb as being on the episode. We never see Felix. So, because he has a very prominent. He got it before all the cool hipsters got it. He's got his nice hand tattoo of a star.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That doesn't look like it was just drawn on with ink earlier.
no, not at all.
No.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
pentagram, but it has like goat horns.
Yeah, I've got my
Yeah.
next tattoo scheduled. I'm gonna go get that.
Well, I think we should all get it to commemorate this episode.
There we
Oh,
go. This
Do it.
episode passes 151st day. We'll all get it.
You heard it here first, people. Hand tattoos for everybody. All right, so now we got to see our hero, Matt. He's getting ready. This was so obviously a set that I didn't know what was happening. This is supposed to be like the top of the building or something, or
Please,
the
yes,
patio.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
it's
he
his
has the
penthouse.
helicopter. Yeah, it's
is,
such a like it looks like the Brady Bunch's like backyard with the AstroTurf. You know, it's like so he comes in. He's talking with CJ. His hick fucking buddy Bo is there.
Yeah.
And he's got these gigantic fucking steaks. I swear, I thought it was a Mike Tyson thing, and he was gonna like eat a tiger. I thought because he goes to this grate, which I thought was a cage. No, it's just a giant grill. Because remember, I had no idea where I was at. I was like, where are we at? Are we inside like a house? What is this?
There's so much just like overwhelming sensatory things happening here.
Because it's a birthday party happening, so there's just all these presents everywhere. So I was like, I didn't know what was happening.
Is this a normal set we see throughout the series?
Yeah, this is his penthouse. This is kind of like the outside patio area. You get to see it. It's the same place that has the mechanic like rock formation, and it has
Okay.
the office, and it has a bar, it has everything. It's like it's a bachelor pad.
So we learned there's a little bit of Griff and Bo because he's going through his birthday presents, like shaking them. and
Yeah.
Like, what's in this one? You
He's
know?
also doing the Grandpa Simpson thing. Back in my day, we didn't get presents. We got tube socks on our birthday, and we got crusty underwear for Christmas.
And he just opens one of them, and it's a mounted jackalope.
Yeah,
Which for people who don't know, it's a rabbit with antlers.
which
on it.
Bo didn't know for. I thought now that I'm learning
Yeah.
that Bo was supposed to be a Texas Ranger or
Ranch hand,
ranch hand. It's like, how does he not know about the fabled jackalope?
Plot
He's a fucking bumpkin. That's
Yeah.
why.
He's enslaved.
Basically,
He doesn't let him out. Yeah, he doesn't let him out at all. Like,
He's like
at his
the-
ranch. Yeah.
He's like, this must be a clock. This got some ticking going on here. And like Houston's like, no, Bo. And then all of a sudden he just blows up in his face.
Oh man.
He's got a little soot on his face, so we know it was a rough kind of explosion.
It was just interesting to see how many gifts were just sent to Matt. Like, people aren't there to party with him. He's cooking all these steaks. His grill is like built into the ground. So when he was chucking the steaks on, like you said, it was so weird because the grill's not at his like waist level, chest level,
No.
nothing like that. He's literally chucking them down.
I don't know. I thought he was gonna feed like an animal or something. I was like, what is going on?
I wonder. He's got like the ultimate hibachi setup. You know, he's probably one of those dudes. He likes to like fling shrimps into people's mouths. You know.
Like, another skill Matt Houston has.
Oh, I would
Hibachi.
love that.
And we also we get to see Mama Fratelli. What the fuck was
Yeah,
her name?
Vitelli.
She brings like a fine bottle of wine for him, and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't have."
Vintage port.
Yeah, it's
Donald
like
Pleasant bottle.
Prosecco.
Yeah.
So they're at the hospital now. We learn that he's got, and it was like he was explaining it in the most layman's term. Matt's like, "Can you speak it in plain English?" It's like he clearly has a concussion. Hey, enough of the doctor terms. And he's like, "What can I tell you? He might die. I don't know."
His brain is relaxed.
He's got a relaxed brain. Oh, I get it. And he's furious because he knows who did it. And then Vince shows up, And he's like, God damn it, Vince, you know who did it. And he just storms off. There happens to be a newspaper machine inside the.
Oh, this was the best set dressing I've ever seen.
He just assaults this newspaper like dispenser, like slams it around, yanks out a paper, and then like look at it, and we see the guy from the beginning of the episode,
Right.
Dirk Bronson, known hitman.
Dirk
I put this guy away, and he's getting back at me, and like Vince is just like, hands are tied. We don't know, we can't do anything, but back off. This is our job. To hell with it. I'm gonna get revenge.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens. And it's funny in my in my notes, this is how Italian stereotype these characters are. I put Vitelli, it's Novelli. Like I wrote it like 3 different ways in my note. I have no idea what the name is. But yeah, Vince was surprisingly like cool-headed, and like Matt Houston just loses his shit. And if you watch carefully, it's like they showed the newspaper, but there's like a black background behind it, like they inserted it, and it's like somebody shaking the paper, and it's like Dirk Bronson. They just put it in later.
It was actually a black man's hands holding the paper, but it's like whatever. They won't notice. Much like a scene later on that we're going to point out that we noticed there in spelling.
that we already alluded to.
We've also forgot to mention that, that Houston choppered Bo to his own chopper. But.
On his little penthouse next to the grill, next to all the birthday presents. He got in his chopper and flew.
And if it wasn't for him being rich, Bo would be dead.
Isn't this amazing?
Eat that, you people that hate rich people. You need to know a rich person.
You're turning me around.
We would be one less Bo right now if it weren't for rich people.
Yeah, what would we do without Bo?
And then he's never seen again on the show. So what's that?
There we go.
All right, so CJ and Matt go back to their mechanic lair. They're gonna learn about the suspects. So okay, this Babe, the supercomputer.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Basically, it's a window with shades, and they just close the shades, and all of a sudden it turns into a monitor.
Amazing.
Yeah. Cool. And it shows Dirk Bronson, this wanted criminal.
Was that super impressive when you were a kid watching this?
You know, let me say, Baby is an Apple III computer, right? But if you remember, the movie Maniac Killer also had a computer.
It had multiple computers.
It had multiple.
Yeah. Yes.
I loved it.
Yes. And so, where's Bernard the mailman when you need him? Maybe he's the one that brought the stakes in. You see, I think there is a Maniac Killer connection in many different ways. But yeah, I was super psyched to see that. But do you remember when you first? I don't mean to go off.
No, you're good.
Do you remember seeing the first computer ever, like your first PC? I mean, my age, I'm what are we, 49? I'll be 49 next month. Yeah, so I remember I saw like the first machine I thought was a pet computer, but my neighbor had an Apple III computer. And I remember going there all the time. We played like King's Quest and Zork and all this weird shit.
King's Quest. Good.
You remember that?
I've watched multiple people play it, but I've never had hands-on experience with it. But those
it was like side scroll. Like you would run to the edge of the screen and it'd have to load the next. So it would take forever to paint the screen. But we thought it was the coolest shit ever. But anyway, yeah, that was the first. When I saw that on Matt Houston, I was like, wow, that's pretty freaking cool.
Space age.
Yeah.
So,
but obviously it was just it was not a real computer.
Yes, we cannot put pictures on window shades.
Yeah, that would have taken like 2 days to render those photographs.
We learned that Dirk Bronson, his only known associate, is Fred Bothig, the labor union guy. So that's the only thing he's got. So he just rushes over to see this guy. And of course, what's a union guy doing? They're sitting playing cards.
Of course they are. It just was it a hotel? Was it his apartment?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was his office.
Oh, his office. Okay, excuse me. And of course, CJ does wish Matt good luck.
Right.
You know, be careful. These are
dangerous.
Men.
They're union guys. They're dangerous.
Exactly.
Leg breakers.
Exactly.
Matt Houston kisses her on the lips.
Yeah.
And
he kisses everybody on the lips.
Notice he got a little of his lipstick on her because he's wearing so much fucking makeup. And so he puts on his best black. He's going like undercover. Puts his black members only on. pulls up the sleeves, so shows a little forearm.
Well, you gotta. That's intimidation mode.
Barges into Fred's game.
All this feels like an Archer gag right now. Puts on his member-only jacket to go beat up some Union guys.
It inspired Archer.
Might have.
That's the legacy of Matt Houston. And he's like, I know you're behind it. And Fred's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Houston. Why don't you beat it? And that just sets Houston off. He grabs a chair and smashes it on the guy's face. And just starts fucking everybody. He grabs Fred and was about to throw him out a fucking window.
Yeah. He was ready to kill him.
Yes.
He was so ready. And then he's like, maybe I shouldn't.
And then he does this nice move where he slides him across the top of the desk. Like,
Yeah.
It's clearly a stunt, man. Like they don't
yeah.
even care that you can see the guy's face. Then he slides him off out of frame, and then the real actor is like behind the desk, just pops up when the guy has a chance to move. You know, like it's fucking. Awesome.
And then he's like,
We got to talk too. We love the one guy in this scene because he appeared to have a fake mustache and a wig on.
yeah, one of the goons.
Yeah, one of the goons.
And so he's like, all right, I'll tell you. And we said this for years. Where do lowlifes congregate? By the docks, somewhere by water. They need their water. And so he's just
Need
like,
their water.
and then-
You can lead a goon to the docks, but you can't make him do mischievous deeds.
Right. And I love this. This is obviously the actor's choice. He pulls out his comb and starts styling his hair as it is Donald Trump-esque hair.
Yeah.
And
So
starts
cool.
telling
It was
you know,
good. It was good.
And his collar is all fucked up, but he can't.
Yeah.
He looked he was all sweaty.
Not to
He was
mention
pretty
his
good.
not to mention his eyebrow was fucked up too.
Right. It's like, think about it, Houston. There's no way Bronson could have broke out of prison unless there was some big money behind it. Big money. And then Matt goes, Castanos. Now, you're the Matt Houston expert. Is this Castanos' only appearance, or did he actually make a previous appearance?
It is so disappointing. He is like they set him up as like the greatest arch villain that
They
should
do.
show up like all the time, and we'll see what happens at the end. But he's never been on the show, and we find out he never returns to the show.
Holy shit. Holy shit, guys. Seriously, stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion of Castanos. Oh my god, I died when we got that.
So he heads down to the, because he's like, he can't, it's impossible. He's in the mental institute, he's
Right.
locked up.
Right.
So he goes there. Doctor, played by one of my favorite guys, Raymond St. Jacques, aka Coffin Ed from the great blaxploitation movie Cotton Comes to Harlem.
Fucking Criterion's own. It's right up there in the Criterion collection. Go watch that fucking movie.
His voice is amazing. Like
It's-
he has a great voice. Like he played Frederick Douglass in Glory. Actually, he's had a nice little career.
And he has a great fucking porn star name.
That's right.
Yes, beautiful.
I'm getting total Dress to Kill vibes right now too.
It was very much like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's impossible, Houston. The world's richest crazy man. There's no way he could have gotten out. He has no outside communication at all. And then we go to the room where Castanos is locked up.
Yeah.
There's like a little
There's
window.
just- yeah,
they
the little
open
window.
up. And this is where we see.
I love this because instead of seeing through the window first, we're slowly like panning up to Castanos'
it looks
face.
like a peep show booth type operation. Like,
Yeah.
pops up.
So you see the open window with the light coming in, and then you see Castanos' face slowly come into frame and everything, and he looks amazing. This guy is so good at playing a psychotic character. Amazing.
You should see the movie Tourist Trap, where he plays another crazy hillbilly.
I'm writing it down right now. That's probably on Mike's Plex, and
It probably is.
I'm
yeah.
gonna watch the fuck out of that.
So yeah, it's a great Chuck Connors. He's just staring off into space with this insane look on his face.
One day, the richest man in the world had everything. Real estate. And Matt Houston's rattling it off. Oh, I know
Yeah.
real estate. He owned the Oakland Raiders for a little while there. Houston Astro. Yeah, he invested early in Disneyland, and then they went woke, and then he went broke. Look at him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and we want to point out, since his name is Castanos, I think Chuck Connors like, he's got to be Greek. So I'm gonna try a Greek accent.
Is that it? What is it? Is it
I don't
Greek?
know. I think it sounds Greek to me.
It doesn't sound like Giannis. in a Tacoma.
Got news for you. He ain't Greek. Right. As being the Telly Savalas guy, I'm going to say I'm the expert on Greek people on this
Good,
episode.
yes.
So I'm going to say he's Greek because he's like, "Did you have a nice birthday, Houston?"
Oh, that's because after the doctor leaves, he knows. He hears the doctor's footsteps going away. Raymond St. John's footsteps going away. And then he starts going, "Happy birthday to Houston." Oh, it's so good.
Because he goes, "Who?" He's like, "Happy birthday, dear Houston." It's Houston. It's not. He can't do a U. Like, do Greek people have trouble with U's?
Perfect Greek accent.
He's so good.
Was it eventful, Houston? And then he rattles off. This is his explanation for why he does what he does. The Lord of the Netherworld apparently talks to Castanos.
Yeah, the Nether region.
And he is tasked with finding.
Does that just mean somebody's junk? Is he talking about his dick?
Yeah.
My dick wants me to.
He's like, I have to find. I still don't understand it, but he's supposed to be insane. I have to find my soul inside of a woman. Apparently, all our manly souls reside in women, and we need to cut them open to get them back.
It's the women and then the computers and the packages and everything. You know.
Wow. I'm sorry.
All right, that's a Maniac Killer. Watch the episode Maniac Killer. If you want to know what the hell I just said. He's Dr. Osborne. He is Dr. Osborne. He is the same character. Castanos, after this, goes to Paris to work on women. Remember the women?
That makes sense.
It's the same thing. You didn't know what you had no idea what Osborne was doing with the women either. They're just like the women and the experiment. It's the same fucking thing.
And he's helping a speech impaired kid learn to speak because he didn't even know how to say Houston.
Houston.
And then he goes, "Maybe my soul is in CJ."
CJ, wait. How did he say it on Baywatch?
Yeah, it was CJ.
Murray, I got a quick question for you for Wednesday. This is a little teaser joke for everybody.
Okay.
Does that mean Paulie's soul is in a computer?
Yes, it's exactly what it means.
Okay.
So we learned that Castanos, he was shot like 100 times, which is normal for a cop to shoot somebody 100 times, but he survived. And he thinks he's immortal. "I cannot be killed, Houston. You will die." And he also throws out, because he's like, "I know you got Dirk Bronson." He's like, "Oh, he's not the only one. I've hired a multitude of the greatest killers." We learn these guys are the most imbeciles ever. But like the greatest killers money can buy, Houston.
Yeah, these killers are so great. We barely get to know them, understand them. We just see them fail.
Right. So Houston, he's out the parking lot, and lo and behold, Dirk Bronson works quick. He's waiting for him outside with his little silencer pistol. Houston, like he shoots at Houston.
I love this because Matt turns into a deer in the headlights. He just stops and takes in his surroundings, by telepathy or something, and then hides behind a car. It took him a good while.
And then he does the classic 80s move. He just slides across a hood and then lands. And he's like, lurking, hiding. And then he hides behind a car as Dirk Bronson's coming towards him. Jumps out, stops him, grabs the gun, points it at Bronson.
I thought he delivered a pretty cool line here. I didn't write it down, though.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah. But he's gonna take him in, and Vince and Matt are gonna interrogate him.
Yeah, they're immediately like, "We're gonna beat the shit out of you until you tell us." And he's like, "If you leave one mark on me, I'll have my lawyers up your ass."
Yeah, this is not a good cop, bad cop. It's just straight up fucking hands are finally untied.
Right.
I'm gonna beat
He's tied up, but they're not.
If only a black cowboy came in.
Yeah, slap the shit out of him. Yeah, that would be so good.
Phil, have you ever watched Cruising?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch.
That's why I didn't listen to the episodes. I have to watch.
Oh, you gotta watch Cruising. So many amazing moments in there.
So Houston's like, "Who you got me there? But how about I do this? how about I tell everybody you told us everything, and we send you back to the who's gal? 'Cause that's what a Texas guy would say.
Yeah, the Hughes Kiao.
Who's gal? Who's gal?
Did Castanos give him that line?
Yeah, and he's like, and you'll be known as a snitch. No fucking way. I'll be dead in a day if I know I'm a snitch. All right, I'll tell you. And we learn because he's like, there's no way. How did he talk to you? He's like,
Yep.
There was an orderly. I think his name was Felix. He was our go-between.
Right.
So they got the next lead.
They even get Bronson to admit. What was Bronson?
Bronson.
Yeah, he admits to sending him the Jackalope bomb. So
Yeah, it was Castano's idea, though.
right,
The idea was
So,
Castano,
all right.
because he was a jackalope. An insane person comes up with an idea to put a fucking bomb in a jackalope. I mean, I guess that is what an insane person would do. I don't know.
What do you get a man who has everything? You gotta get him a mystical, unique
crypto monster, whether they're called.
cryptozoology.
Yeah. So it was either that or the paw of a Bigfoot, and couldn't find one.
That's really hard. MacGyver killed the last one.
Exactly. Our very first Tippy-Tap, by the way. Go check that out.
Very first.
So they go back to the mental institute. Raymond St. Jacques with his great voice. I assure you, there's no way he can talk to anyone.
And while
Felix is a very upstanding citizen. There's no way. And then Matt is like, this motherfucker makes $17,000 a year. He's got to be dirty. He's a piece of shit.
right,
He's poor.
while the doctor's
Yeah.
trying to talk to them, they're rifling. Matt is just going
Through medical
Yeah.
records and shit.
His
Hippo-
credit history.
Yeah.
His credit history is somehow in the drawer of on his desk.
And so,
How does an orderly have an office, first of all?
yeah, really.
He wipes people's asses and like cleans out like bedpans and shit.
Right.
He's got his own office with all of his shit in there, right? His credit report and everything.
Right. And so Matt is just having a great time griffing through all of his shit, knocking all of his personal photos over and everything. And then he starts going through the desk drawers and he finds tickets.
Right. Well, he finds out he's a 401k, and he's like, "There's no way an orderly would
Yep.
have that."
Yeah, they don't
So-
deserve it.
Especially in the
Exactly.
80s. Like, did people really use 401ks in the 80s?
No, I don't think so.
Because I thought that was a newer thing when we were like, hey, guess what? No one gets Social Security. You guys
Right.
have to do it
Back in the
yourself.
day, you probably get a pension, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, exactly.
when the crooks on Wall Street were like, "No, 401k."
No, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, he finds several airline tickets, and he goes, "This must be a clue." So he takes it back to CJ, and she goes on Babe, types it up. We learn that all of these,
Oh my God.
all of these airline tickets are from cities. The exact same day a prison break happened in a city.
Oh.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Why did he have to get all of his killers out of prison? Like, is he just want it to be difficult to do this?
Yeah, you
shit?
think they would be the worst.
Like, isn't there like
killer.
1,000 killers in America?
As we learned, they're the worst killers
Yeah, and he didn't
because
even
they're
get
locked
good
up.
ones.
First of all, yeah, it makes no
Yes,
sense.
because the deal was they got $1 million and a ticket to the country. Maybe they had something to gain or something. But wouldn't you do if you were out of prison? You'd still.
I think
that'd
I would
still
do
be
it
a
for $1
sweet
million.
deal.
Yeah, I don't need a ticket.
Right. It's like he wanted the compromise on them and everything. So he's like, all right, I'm going to fucking double dip here, get you out of prison. Then I have, a hook on you. So if you ever fucking get out of line, I can get you back in
Wow.
prison or something like
He's
that.
playing some from 4D chess.
Right. Because if he goes out again, any normal killer, he might have also met these people. There's probably like a prison chat board or something that they all talk on.
So, yeah, and their Apple III, was that it?
Yeah. It was
And CJ's like, "Look, you're distraught. Let's go to Vinny's, Mama Vinny's. Get the I don't know. What's some of our delicacies at Vinny's?
well, right now what I'm really in is the enchilada mastachito. Oh my
Okay.
god.
the
It's an
tamale
open-faced-
minestrone.
Yeah.
And I know you got some jokes you want to lay on Vinny, so let's go, Matt. And he's like, "All right, but first we got to check out Bo.
No one's talked about Bo until now.
Why would you? He's a piece of shit."
He didn't even know. Like, he's like, "Hey, how's Bo doing?" She's like, "He's doing better." No, he's still on life support, or he's out of the ER or something. And then Matt's just like, Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, that I forgot.
Doesn't
That's
even
what.
care.
That's why I'm doing this. Oh yeah, Bo. Yeah, let's check out him.
Yeah. Wait, what was his name again? Bo?
Well, we gotta get him. I have a few more gifts I'd like him to open just in case.
Exactly.
Like we learned what Bo's
Yeah, because
real.
Castano's the kind of guy who would put 2 bombs. in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
He's
Bo
not
drinks
worried.
all his
How did-
drinks before.
Was it activated when you opened the present? How did he know when like it was gonna blow up? Like Matt obviously didn't care. He's got everything. So
Mike, row, wave, timing.
okay. So he's like the sensei.
He is.
All right.
He might have been in overseas in a fight with Sensei Seagal. That might have been where he learned it.
Okay.
Okay.
So they stop at the hospital. They're going to walk in. Or they're walking out. I don't remember. But
you know, for rich people, they don't park in the handicap spots. They parked in the back.
right.
Yeah.
See,
Very
he's a
nice.
nice
So-
guy.
Yeah.
Master Killer Cletus Sims. His plan was, I'm going to run them over with a car.
Wait.
Okay.
We forgot when they're going through the profiles on Baby. They found the
Please.
2 killers, right? They had Alvin Ambler, and then they had Clevis Sims, and they said that Alvin he's connected to the mob. Clevis, is that what it was? Sims is from New Jersey. He's a killer who kills. Also, this is exactly what she said. I have it in quotes. He kills in different ways.
Okay, then it tracks.
I
yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because that's
good.
why they can never pin anything on you. You don't have like
Mix it up. You mix it
Yeah.
up, and you wear
Right.
shoes that are 2 sizes bigger than your real feet,
And you walk backwards.
and you walk backwards in the snow.
Oh my god, the fucking cops.
So Matt throws CJ out of the way. He like does like he's gonna shoot like magic rays out of his fingers. I don't know what he was doing, and then he
CJ.
leaps out of the way. So the guy's like, I guess I have to turn around and run them over again.
Right.
Matt grabs like a
Stanchion.
yeah, and just smashes the windshield. All right, we noticed this on our second watch. It's infuriated me because it was
It's such a bad
he
prop.
hits a fire hydrant. Okay, if you watch it, he hits a fire hydrant. There is a tube with water 2 feet away from where the fire hydrant is, and then water just starts spraying.
It's a hose.
Fucking irritated me. I was sorry. I had to turn it off, and I was like, I can't watch this for I'm thrown off. I've
Who
lost.
is Matt Houston? Who is anything? Who
Right.
is yeah.
What do I believe anymore?
Murray had a moment. He was like, "It's not the clothes, it's the clothes hanger." Wait, what is that line?
No. I was thinking about the clothes when I
Yeah.
should have been thinking about the hanger.
That's
You should've
right.
Think about the hanger. Yeah, that's it.
So Clevis is dead. I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
Yeah, he hit his head. He hit his head on the.
Thank God he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
So
He's dead. He didn't naked. He's dead.
So inside, Mama Novelli, being a classic stereotypical Italian mom, is praying the rosary over the body of Bo, even though he probably thinks Catholicism is Satanism because he's a redneck. But she's still praying for him. And CJ's like, Mama Novelli. And she's like, who would the kill Matt Houston? And she's like, let me tell you about this Costanos guy. Houston had a friend who was like an ambassador or something in Germany, and Costanos got a hold of his wife, and they had to identify her by the dental records. It was that brutal a killing. And of course, Matt, he had to like avenge his friend's wife's murder. So he followed Costanos all across Europe, all over.
Mm-hmm.
One day, the British cops, they call them bobbies, they cornered Costanos. But remember, this is ass backwards England where the cops don't carry guns. So they were slaughtered by Costanos because he has, I don't know the proper word I should say, but the strength of someone who's mentally incapable of making decisions for himself.
It's the strength of Matthew.
Strength of Matthew, thank you.
Yeah.
And so, thankfully, our cops do carry guns. And when they caught up to him, they shot him 13 times.
And then 32 times.
And he survived.
Then they put a chokehold on
And he
him.
survived, which is why it's okay for a cop to shoot you 32 times, because you'll survive. They know how to shoot and not hit the vital organs.
That's right.
So
They
she,
did. They did make it a big point to talk about this. People who haven't seen this think you're joking, probably, but they made it a huge point to
Yeah.
talk about how the British had no guns, and thank God our San Diego police officers had guns. It's actually, she says, thank God that they
Yeah.
had guns. Yeah, it's
And then
it's pretty
thank
classic.
God they stood their ground.
Right.
Yeah,
Then she waved
And
a
she's
"Don't
like,
tread on me" flag.
Mamma mia! What
spicy
is,
meatball.
what this is a crazy. What are you gonna do? I don't know what we can do, Mama. All right, so Matt goes back. He goes.
He's going back to the hospital.
Somehow he's just he's not even, I don't even sure if he's a private investigator. I think he's just a rich guy who loves, which was a very common thing because there was a show called Heart to Heart, which also had a rich couple that stumbled on murders constantly and then solved them.
Amazing.
But
Good Samaritans.
another Aaron Spelling production. by the
Hey,
way.
that's how people feel about themselves with true crime today. Like, there's
Yeah.
all kinds of true crime podcasts. That's why we're trying to crack into it. We just haven't found any murders recently.
That's no different than Murder She Wrote. I mean, you did
Yeah.
the Albra
Yeah.
episode, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere she goes, somebody's getting killed.
Right.
I mean,
Coincidence? I think not.
No, we talk about it in our Murder She Wrote, our first episode with Abra, where she is a Q level being from Star Trek. That
Right.
is.
She is.
And she just orchestrates this whole town. She's a puppet master
Yeah,
with
she's
a
like
lot
the
of
little
strength.
kid on that Twilight Zone episode.
Or
that
that.
runs the
Yeah.
town.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
I hated that kid.
So,
Throttle that kid.
but you couldn't because he'd
Couldn't.
put you in the cornfield.
Right.
So,
Yardley Smith was on that. Yeah.
Ooh, Simpsons voice.
Yeah. Bart Simpson was in that episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, with the power of just being a rich guy who likes to solve crimes, Raymond St. Jock lets him into Castanos's room,
Yeah.
and we see a body just laying there. And I love how like cavalier the doctor is. He's like curled up in the fetal position. He's like, "You gonna get up, Castanos? I got somebody to see." Like they're not like, "What the fuck happened to this guy?"
Yeah,
like,
no.
he could be dead for all they know.
Yeah,
I think that's Felix. I think that was Felix.
That's it. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a PI of our own here.
Yeah, I had to watch it 10 times writing these notes.
Yeah, see, it's not as easy as it.
Oh,
you
man.
people, if you knew what we go through week
Yeah.
in and week out with a job, we work, people.
Well-
and we do this much like Matt Houston. This is our PI business.
That's right. We just don't have the secretaries. We just have
So,
Mattingly.
yeah.
And sometimes Joe Coleman comes over in his rugby shorts.
Yes, just to flaunt it. And so, yes, you're right. It was Felix, and they're like, "Oh," and like I was speaking of Simpsons. Right, when Raymond St. Jock is Dr. Hibbert. He's just like, "Ooh, I don't know, you know." He's just like, whatever. I guess we're.
Anyone need their appendix removed?
Hell yeah.
So CJ is like waiting for. She's waiting in the car, and she bumps into Alvin Ambler, the other convict.
And she
Top-notch
actually,
assassin.
yeah. Again, Top, you're right. These are the fucking gooberiest assassins ever. Plain daylight, looking like you gotta look pretty. You gotta look like James Bond if you're gonna assassinate someone in front of a hospital. Bumps into him. She's been looking at their
He's
pictures.
literally
On,
just walking with a gun in his hand, and she's like, "I better get a cop."
yeah. Well, this is a stand your ground state,
Right.
you know.
Well,
L.A.,
Yeah,
San Diego.
she beats his ass. Like, she takes him
Yeah.
out with karate.
Well, he was probably surprised by when she turned
Yeah.
to look at him in the face of makeup. He was like, "Whoa, wow, that's a lot of makeup." And
Tammy
so
Faye.
that disarmed him for a minute there, and then she did.
And she disarmed him.
She disarmed him. That's not your purse, and kicked him in the groin, and fucking.
And then she's like, "I need to get a cop." And lo and behold, there is a cop.
Yeah.
Or is it a cop?
Oh no, we recognize this strong face, even behind those fucking aviators. It's like,
He
I
was
know.
looking really creepy.
He's got Gary Busey kind of head.
He does
It's
have a Gary
big-
Busey vibe in this episode. Yeah. And he's like, "Somebody call a cop." And it's fucking Costanos. And he grabs her and they jump in an RV and take off.
Oh man.
All right, CJ wakes up. She's in the back of that RV. And he's just like, she's like, "Look, just let me go. I promise I won't tell anybody. Just let me go." And then he's like, The soul of a man lives inside a woman, and I'm pretty sure my soul is inside you. I might have to do some horrible things to you. Forgive me. And then he just gets a masking tape and just puts it over her mouth.
Bernard the postman was right all along.
You saw this as a kid. Do you know what you were thinking at this time when you have this insane person talking about the soul?
Honestly, it was so unnerving. Like I should have not been watching this. He's
Yeah,
scary. Like
he is.
Chuck Connors is actually really good in this. Like we
Yeah,
make fun of him, but it might be one of his best performances. That and Maniac Killer as Dr. Osborne.
like
He's good. He is scary. Yeah.
I remember watching shit like that, like X-Files. I got to watch X-Files when I was
Oh
like
my
7
god.
and 8 or whatever, whenever that show was airing. And I would get like everything I could to wedge my window shut because that had such an impact. I was like, someone's gonna break in
Hey,
my room.
and Phil will attest to this. Salem's Lot, when we
Oh
were
my god.
little, was on.
It should not been
Scary
on
as shit.
television.
That
Trilogy of Terror. All these like
Yeah.
made for TV
Yeah.
movies were
yes,
way scarier than the horror movies they make now.
Salem's Lot is fucking great.
Like
Like I watched that was
Yeah.
a Mike recommendation a while ago. That was very good.
they did Trilogy of Terror was always on because it was rated PG or something, but it was
Yeah.
on. And that last episode with the doll running around. Of course, it looks
Yeah.
funny now, but I
Yeah.
remember I used to put an Afghan over my head and
Yeah.
like look through the slats on the Afghans, like
Then
as I was scared shitless.
And then remember, it was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, where there were those little
Yes.
monsters that were living in like a
Yeah, the
chimney.
little
That,
claymation monsters
that was
crawling
some
out.
creepy shit.
I
No,
like
they were
some of
like, I
that.
think they were like literally midgets that were dressed up because they had like they
Oh,
had gorilla bodies and these weird like shriveled raisin heads,
Oh,
and they were like
creepy.
little, and they were
chimney.
trapped inside a chimney, and somebody like broke it open because they were like renovating a house.
Yeah.
And the end, they just take the girl away and put her in the chimney. Like it's not a happy ending. Like the girl dies.
Damn, that's fucking
So you
Yeah.
see
brutal.
that at 5, and this is a TV movie,
Yeah.
Griff. This isn't
Right?
like
No, that's well, TV
Yeah.
was
yeah,
fuck,
because they
all this choice paralysis is killing creative, everything. Like people, we should have more. Just go back to watching Antenna. Is all I'm saying.
so
100%.
Matt is back at the palatial estate, the palatial penthouse apartment. He's pacing back and forth. He's like, "God damn it, Vince, we got to do something." And he's like, "I don't know where could CJ be? Casino's probably gutting her right now, pulling her soul out." And then he gets a call
Of course, he gets a call.
from Castanos. Houston, meet me at the spot. And then Houston's like, the Scooby-Doo abandoned amusement park?
Jesus
It's
Christ!
got to be there.
Oh my God!
Let's see what we can whip up for amusement, Houston. I think she's the one. I may just find my soul. Houston, he's ready.
Phil, would you like to tell us about this scene here? This is probably one of Matt's greatest, most bravado moments of this episode that I saw.
Where he like walks in with no, before that, the shotgun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're
Oh, so
talking
guess
about.
what? Let me just say that this episode of Matt Houston is like Dark Houston. He is like rattled, he's upset, he's angry. This is not typical Matt Houston. I actually
Okay.
thought that this episode would turn this whole series like into Matt being a little edgy, and I think it was they were trying to tweak it so that people would watch it because they kind of wanted that. That's what you get in this next scene. Like he's drinking like Jack straight.
It
He
was
goes in.
Dickel.
What was it?
I looked at that label and I was telling Kayla about this because she loves her Dickel. And yeah, it was a Jack Daniels label, but it said Dickel, I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit!
I
Well,
gotta
that was
go.
back in the day. Yeah, you wouldn't have
an eagle
product
eye.
placement.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look at that again because I think I caught that.
The
And
label
now,
looked like Jack. It looked like a black
yeah,
Jack.
it had that
eye.
font and everything.
Well, because remember, this is before product placement was in everything. So you'd make up like Playboy magazine would be Playpen magazine.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit. you know?
Right.
So that's what they were probably doing.
So I'm really interested to go take another look. I meant to do that and I forgot to.
So
Like Matt raids. Like he never uses a gun. ever, unless he
Even
picks
though he
it
has
up
an arsenal of guns.
yeah, exactly. It makes no sense, but
Well,
he'll
he is a
like
Texan. It makes perfect sense.
yeah, and he grabs a double barrel shotgun and he walks out to the elevator and
Very Road
sis.
Warrior, I should say.
Oh, and he's got it draped over his shoulder, and this is the same year Road Warrior was out, right? It's 82.
Yeah,
So it was exactly. And
the influence of George Miller and Road Warrior. Go check out
yeah,
that episode.
and his secretary, her name is Sis. She actually appears on the show like for like 40 episodes. She's pleased with him. It's like, you got to call the cops, man. You can't do this on your
Yeah,
own.
we forgot to mention she was totally eavesdropping on that
Yeah.
conversation. She like pops in the background and then disappears.
Oh, okay.
Total jerk. She should have been fired immediately.
Yeah, she should have just listened on the outside line, you know? Like, God, come on.
Yeah. And then she says something like, I'm scared. You're scaring me, Matt. I've never seen you with a gun before. And then he's like, he has it draped over and he's like, I am different. And he's like, goes down the elevator. And again, I think everybody thought that this would be the change in tone of Matt Houston. It would have been probably really cool because it would be really dark.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. The next show after this one,
Oh, no.
Matt Houston is molested by aliens.
No! What?
No.
People, you need to listen to this episode because then we're going to do the
Episode
alien
17.
episode. But only if we get what is it? 150 in the first day?
Well, the 150s for the tattoo.
Well, I think we got to throw in the Matt Houston molested.
We always
episode.
mention at like 100 or so for the next episode in the series. Because what did we just do? Where we're like, we'll do the remake of it if we get 100 in the first week.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We just did something that an awful remake of it. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, we can't remember what we just
it
recorded.
It was
with
the
Joe.
one before Road Warrior, and I don't remember what that episode was.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Which nobody, thankfully, asked for that.
That's right.
So okay, so now he's at the amusement park. It's probably like Knott's Berry Farm closed for like the winter or some shit.
Yeah,
you know?
immediately I was just like, look, there's abandoned shit everywhere. This place looks like it's been closed for an hour.
Even the fountain is running. Or did Costanos turn that on?
Yeah.
No, he owns that amusement park.
Oh yeah.
Remember his industries were like shipping lanes, real estate, and amusement parks just for this scene.
Is this the amusement park where Kiss met the Phantom? I want to know.
I don't know, but only Burgess Meredith knows.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so we get a lot of cat and mouse here. The fountain like turns off, and we see Cassinos on this ledge. Who's done? And he's got a crossbow.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a little movie called Road Warrior. This show is very influenced by Road Warrior.
Very much so, yeah.
82, it was all Road Warrior. And so Houston, like he shoots at Houston, like hits, like Houston's hiding behind a caramel apple like cart.
Oh yeah, like we don't get into the chase yet because he like calls down to him and tells him he's like, "I own you, and very soon I'll own CJ."
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is. And then he starts to scurry off, and he's got CJ. Castanos has CJ with him, so he's like, I promise this will not take long, and like tapes her mouth shut or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And then the carousel starts, and we see Alvin Ambler.
Yeah, Matt approaches the carousel.
Yeah, and we're like, well, yeah. I guess Costas finally realized how useless he was, and he did that. He's like, I don't need him anymore, Houston.
He would have spoiled my food.
So then Matt,
they Sean Archer Alvin Ambler. They fucking Sean Archer his ass. They fucking had that. There's a crushed Quiznos like cup up on the hill where Castor Troy was. And he had a mustache. He had Castor Troy's mustache was a lot like fucking Matt Houston's mustache. Very similar.
Very.
You think that was a coincidence? I don't think so.
I don't know.
The influence.
The influence.
It was eating a peach. Like Castanos was eating a peach.
So Matt is hiding behind a caramel apple cart. We see a bolt from the crossbow hit it. Matt fires off his shotgun. That could have been your heart if I wanted you, Stan. All right. So now he disappears, Castanos.
Yep. The chase continues.
They're like in an open, like amphitheater type situation.
Yeah.
Castanos is at the top of the amphitheater. Houston's walking up the steps.
There's like no. This is the most dangerous thing Matt Houston's done. It is reckless what he is doing. In the open, he's on the low ground here. This is what got Anakin Skywalker fucking brutally murdered by Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got to be in the high ground.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So he's on the low ground and he's just walking. There's one place for Castanos to be hiding. So he's like, well, he's there. So I'm just going to walk out there.
He's enraged. CJ, perhaps the love of his life. We don't know.
We don't know.
He's not thinking straight, Griff.
That's right. Well, we know we suspect that CJ isn't thinking straight either. So he might be chasing something he can't get. But maybe that's what he likes.
Exactly.
Because he's rich.
Matt Houston's one of those guys to be like, I could turn her straight. She just needs a little mustache ride.
He is rich. He's used to getting everything he wants.
Right.
And CJ's been the only person not,
What do you get for the man who owns the jackalope, mounted jackalope?
A lesbian, apparently.
A lesbian. Turned lesbian. So, yeah, Griff. Pussy fog. He's in the pussy fog. He's insane with it.
Oh, my God.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
That's what Castanos is trying to find in the soul of the woman. It's where this. It's the origin of the fog.
Yes.
Holy shit.
It does have supernatural origins, yes. The Lord of the Nether region. The Lord of the Nether region.
Yeah,
exactly. That's where it comes from.
Nether region.
Oh, my God.
If you people don't listen to us regularly, you're missing some hilarious callbacks right now. But...
Our Lord just got 3 feet deeper with this Lord of the Nether regions.
Yes. We're going to need to come up with a name for that character. But that's in another episode.
We'll talk to you about that, Phil.
So...
I'm thinking right now. I'm writing down ideas.
That might be the name of your hot dog cocktail.
The Lord of the Nether region.
The crossover has happened.
There. So Castanos fires a bolt at Houston. He dodges one way and throws his gun the other way for some reason. And then he's like, chase me, Houston. He takes off. And then he's so in the fog, he leaves the gun and just chases after him.
Oh, man. So here we are. We're like on at least an elevated type situation here. So there's a mounted wood staircase that's on like a hillside, cliffside, whatever. And so Houston somehow got ahead of him and is under the ridgeside walkway that Castanos is going to be walking on along here. And so, of course, Matt's just waiting for him to go looking out for Matt. And as soon as he does, he reaches that crossbow over like the little banister or guardrail or whatever. And Houston grabs it and fucking throws it away. And then does the baseball thing when you hit a home run, or at least you think you did, but actually it's going to fall 4 feet short and you're supposed to be running to second right now. And he just watch it, he throws it and then puts his hand over his eyes oh man, look at that thing go. Turns around and there's Castano springboarding. Tope suicidia.
Right, with a knife.
With a knife.
And remember, Chuck Connors, he's probably about 60 at this time, but he has the strength of a million Matthews.
That's right.
So they're struggling. And they're scuffling, and then he wants to grab some of the chest hair off of Matt Houston. Instead, he grabs the wire.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I told you no cops, Houston. I'm gonna have to kill CJ. He punches Houston, knocks him out temporarily. So Castanos is getting ready to go back to where he has CJ hidden, but Matt, just in the nick of time, makes the save.
Yeah.
And then, they're on a ledge or something. They're above this water,
like a waterfall, like rocks. It's supposed to have rocks on it. Yeah.
Was it the same spot that Castanos called down to him at the beginning?
Might have
been. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now we're here. We got the cops down by the front of the pond there.
Right.
and they've all got the guns pointed up at him and everything.
And then he like separates himself somehow from Castanos.
Yeah, he
And then
throws him down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fire! Keep shooting!
He's in the way. He rolls down the rocks,
Yeah.
and Houston pushes
Yeah.
him because they can't get a clear shot when they're struggling.
No,
He falls right into the water.
No, they shoot him, and then he falls into the water, and then
Oh.
Houston says, "Keep shooting," like because they're like, "We shot him." We're
I
fine."
thought
Matt threw him.
No, I think he just
okay.
throws him. And
No,
he
I'm
rolls
pretty
down
sure
the
Matt-
mountain.
Okay,
And he
well,
falls
then-
into the water, and then the cops are like
Okay.
aiming at the water, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
and Houston's like screaming, like, "Shoot it! Like fire, you fuckers!" And that's strange because most of the time the LAPD they have no problem still unloading.
Well, they learned from this episode because it turns out even a million shots isn't enough for Castanos.
CJ told us the whole story about how the Bobbies over there didn't know how to shoot, and then he came over to
Didn't
LA
have anything to shoot with.
and he got shot up and everything. These fucking cops, they had like straight up military grade weapons. They had like M16s and shit. They fucking were launching grenades into this. And somehow
Did cops
Please.
even have those guns yet? Like it's 82. Like didn't it like when they had the Hollywood shootout? You remember when that
Maybe
happened?
this is a SWAT team or something. Who
I
knows?
don't. I don't
They
it's-
look like idiots though. Remember the one guy was like bullied into shooting by Houston screaming at him.
And he's like,
bullied into
"Keep
it.
shooting!" And like Vince is like, "Holy shit, no one's gonna survive that, Houston."
Yeah, we literally see like 8 shots go off, and Houston's like, "No, shoot him more, keep shooting." He dove into a pond, and they're like, "Yeah, he's
You
downstream."
can literally see him, like,
Yeah,
it's that
floating.
shallow.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, he might be downstream." Downstream of what? It's a fountain. It's like a little
What?
pond.
Matt unfortunately takes Vince's word for it, and he gets CJ and takes her back to the car. And lo and behold, Castanos pops up with, is it Matt's shotgun he has?
Yeah, he has 1 round left in that shot.
Just one shell left, Houston, and it's all I need. And they struggle. We get the struggle where we hear a shot go off, and then and they separate. We're like, oh my god, who got shot? The guy who stars in the show called Matt Houston, or Castanos? It was Castanos. He got shot.
But
Dead.
again, Chuck
Dead.
Connors, yeah, he goes down and he stares daggers.
You cannot kill me, Houston. I'm immortal.
It was fucking good.
because he doesn't have a soul. He's immortal.
It's inside CJ.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Once he
insane.
kills CJ, he dies.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got the wrap up part of the show. They're at Houston Inc. Bo is out. He's in a wheelchair now. Mama's just fawning over him, like, don't you get out of that wheelchair. We bring it in. They open up the elevator. Houston's got all his babes around.
That's
him.
right.
And he's like, give Bo a thrill. Pretend like you like him,
Yeah.
So they're all like, oh, Bo, you're so, it's good to see you out. And then CJ gets a call. And she's like, really?
You remember earlier when we were trying to build up how great Chuck Connors was and how
Right.
excited we are for this new Matt Houston, and he's got this fucking crazy assassin after him and everything. I'm sorry, everybody, but this is our conclusion.
Yeah, she's like, oh, yeah, Houston, you're not going to believe this. Castellanos woke up and he laughed maniacally. And then he tried to escape by diving out the 14th floor window. It's over, Houston. He's dead. And then they just like embrace or some shit. And then it's like, it's fun. So, yeah. So, first of all, Griff and I had never seen the show. We're like, is he a regular? Is this like the second or third time we've seen Castellanos? No. It's the only time we see him, and he's never going to appear again.
What happened to that ending? Because why didn't he get an on-screen death? That makes no sense. Did Connors like break a contract rule or something? They just tacked that on.
Yeah.
And it's something
You
happened.
would think they would have had him die at the amusement park.
Yeah. it
What
makes
is
no-
this
it's
bullshit?
Weird. It's weird. But there it
Maybe
is.
maybe they were gonna bring him back, but yeah, like Chuck Connor's like, no, this took a lot out of me. Getting into the mind of Castellanos was too intense. I
Like-
can't do it again.
Like Manhunter.
yeah,
He's like, I
exactly.
can't go to that place anymore.
Right.
Oh, of course.
Or maybe maybe Raymond St. Jacques called, and he's on the Costano's payroll as well.
Has to
And
be.
he
Cover Felix.
told Matt that he jumped out a window, and he's completely fine, and he
Oh
helped
my
him escape.
god.
And they'll
Oh,
never. And yeah,
that would be.
Yeah.
If you weren't so busy writing your erotic fan fiction, you could have been writing this
I'm
episode.
sorry. It's just erotic fan fiction is just what I'm known for.
Every time you go to write a real...
Raymond St. Jacques is actually my erotic
Isn't it?
name. The author's name.
He's wearing a towel. That's sweaty.
It's just every time he goes to write, I've watched this. I'm like, hey, can you write down a couple things I need to pick up at the grocery store? Next thing you know, Murray's writing out a whole fucking sprawl about how Bennett is going to town on so and so. It's like, Murray.
He's like James in Burial Ground. He's always typing Penthouse Forum articles.
I'm a very sensual person. I can't help it. All right, it's just who I am. It's part of what's in my soul. I found my soul inside a woman. And now I write the greatest erotic fiction under the pen name Raymond St. Jacques.
Oh, Phil, you got any closing statements for our great Matt Houston?
Yeah, I'd mentioned before we kind of did that whole rating between Matt Houston and Magnum PI, and I really identify with this show because I'm like a cut rate version of like I'm a B movie person. Like I don't relate to A people. I relate to I don't relate to Magnum PI. I relate to all the cut rate entertainment.
Magnum is kind of a loser on that show.
I guess I don't know. I just knew he was on for 8 seasons.
Yeah.
And Matt Houston was not. But it's just so shoddy. It's fun. I'm actually enjoying rewatching it. So
awesome.
Yeah, great
well,
show.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
Too.
Thanks for having me on. By the way,
you might be a B-lister in life. You're an A-lister. You A-lister on Golan-Globus.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wait, do you mean that?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I mean that.
Thanks, guys.
I can't wait to hear. I want to find. We've been talking about an episode that was questionable material in there for Matt Houston episode. Maybe a little racist tones. Remember? Yeah,
there was something going on.
But we would love to hear if you find
episode 4. If you're curious, episode 4. Of Matt Houston, I believe is the number.
Yes. But we would love to hear about some more episodes.
And hey, maybe if Mr. Jack Baudelaire is listening to this episode, maybe we can set up a crossover.
Jack, I'd love to get you in here and dip your toes in Matt's pool.
Yeah. We could. I don't know. That was a marathon episode. We recorded that. But you could pick the greatest Matt Houston episode, and Jack could pick the greatest Magnum P. Or maybe the opposite. We have you pick a Magnum episode, and he pick a Magnum.
I love this.
Okay. I like
Jack,
that.
if you're listening, I hate to steal your line when we finish this episode, but if you're listening, you let me know. You know how to reach me.
Let me know. All righty, everybody. Of course, Phil, thank you for being on here. What a great time. I loved getting to learn about Matt. Copping a Feel has just been such a success. This has been so much fun.
Everything we do. Yeah.
I loved watching this show, and it was even more fun. I didn't think this show could get any better, but here we are talking with Phil for the last, only like 90 minutes. We did a good job. We kept ourselves contained somehow. And this is amazing. This is the best we've ever done. Yeah. We're getting okay at this. But Murray, I'm going to say goodbye to our good friend Phil. Phil, see you later.
We'll see you guys.
Would you like to say bye to Phil as well?
Yes, I'll say bye to Phil for now.
For now. Exactly. For now. And to you, audience, look forward to Wednesday's episode with the Joe Coleman, the Hungarian hammer, as he told us, he described to us today.
Thunderlats. Genetic jackpot.
He told us he's strong as iron. It's like punching iron, and sure enough, me and Murray punched him, and it was iron.
In fact, in a couple of weeks, we'll be watching him live and in person beat up somebody.
That's right. It's gonna be so satisfying.
Yeah.
He likes to bully us a little bit, just push us over.
Well, he's trying to make us stronger.
He is. That's all it is. And we're trying to make you stronger by just putting out 4-hour episodes. So we're gonna cut this one off short, though. This is a little endurance test or a little quicker test for you. And everybody, God, this is a great ending, right? You're just listening to me just fucking unravel
It's
here.
rough.
It's tough
Yeah.
to conclude.
Yeah.
And so here we are. And until next time, I'm listening.